Open it up a little bit more. And you'll see when I'm done with this that I will have a reasonable cylinder with no seam. It's a lot different than taking a slab of clay, rolling it out, and joining it together and having a seam. Now this is the tricky part. Okay? If the clay's real wet, it's going to stick to that rolling pin. And if it sticks to that rolling pin, it's doomed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it one more time, very carefully. Now, there's your cylinder. Right? Could this be a beer stein? Oh, you bet it could. Could this be a bottle? Oh, you bet it could. Could this be a flask? I mean, there's any number of things you can do with this. But I know for my taste, it's still too thick. So what I would do is I would just set it down, and just like any other process with clay, the timing factor enters in. I can trim this off so it's not tilted. The timing process enters in, and I know that in 15 minutes, enough evaporation or setting up of the surface is going to happen, and this is going to dry out. And what I can do then is I can do the rolling pin one more time. Although, oftentimes, I'll have another rolling pin that's bigger in diameter. And when you have that, you run it through one more time, and you literally can get a wall, probably about as thin as you could get it if you threw it. Now, the advantage is, I didn't add any water to that. If I made 6 of these, I'd go back to the first one, work it a little bit, go through to the 6th one, and then I'd start thinking about adding bottoms, handles, whatever. Okay? Now, I showed you the cylinder. Okay, for instance, that could be the body of a dog lying down on its belly. I could change the top of that by pinching and shaping to the face of a whale. I could flip it over. I could take the other end. I could shape it, coil it, add it, make it the tail of the whale. And I have an enclosed form. Okay? Didn't have to put newspaper scrunched up in anything. Didn't have to wrap a slab around anything. If you can master that, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. But it's just an alternative to me sitting on the wheel and doing something that I'm really not very good at. Okay, so now, it's going to be kind of hard for you to see because I'm actually going to be working from the back of the pot. But I have got all of these little press molds, okay, of faces. And I found sometimes what I can do is I can take a piece of clay, I can make a face, I can put that in front of the fan, or the heater if it's wintertime. In 15 minutes, it's set up enough for me to take a piece of clay that's not too sticky, very gently press on there, and very gently peel it off. Then I have the press mold, and if I really want to see what it's going to do, I put that in front of the fan. I let that stiffen up, very gently push some clay in there and lift it out, and I can see exactly what I'm going to get. And then I can make more. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and just pick one out. This last passage, I want to go with some smaller ones. And all of these will have to be, I need some clay. I found that some of them that have a bigger nose, you have to put a little pat of clay on the tip of your finger and shove it down in there where the nose is going to be. Okay. So I've decided on this guy here. He's a pirate with an eye patch. So I'll set that right there. I'm going to push the clay into it just a little bit, carefully, because you really want to kind of work it in there from the edges to the center, because if you just push straight through, it's going to tear. And like I said, I will have to touch all these up. Now, I'm going to take my little pat of clay, and I have a little cup of water, but I don't.
Do you want a cup of water?
No, I'm good. I'm a notorious clay licker. I've been doing it since high school. And I'm not the only one in here. Okay, so now, that pretty much will come out. So I'm just going to show you the reveal. It's really easy. There it is.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So now what I'll have to do is I'll have to go back and touch it up a little bit. So I know I've used that one. And then I'm going to come around to the other side. That way I can squeeze them in there. Let's see. We'll try this guy here with the mustache and beard. And you see I can reach down in only so far with my finger. Now, if I had not done this with 3 coils, actually a pinch pot and 2 coils, there's no way I could reach down in there. Except there is an exception to every rule. If I wanted to do this like that, I could flip it over. I could do the first row, okay, upside down, because I could reach in there from here down to probably about there. And then I could flip it over and I could solve the problem that way. But this is kind of fun to do, you know. And it's something I kind of worked on just sitting in my studio going, what am I going to do today? I can't make anything. Oh, I forgot to put clay in the nose.
And you don't like the way that face looks. You don't ever try to reline it.
You know,
because it never works right?
Yeah, it never works
right.
Right. It's just almost impossible to get that out of the register kind of look, you know.
It's the one that's already drunk.
Yeah. So now I can do one here and one here if they're small. So get another. And I call these my dead whaler or pirate steins. And I've made little press molds of myself, and one of my favorites. Mitch, I have more Mitch out. I keep waiting for somebody to give me a cease and desist order, or if you keep doing these, you're going to have to, you know, pay us a commission.
Yeah. Now you've got a new target.
That's right,
I have to figure that out. I will.
Actually, you're going to have a couple new targets.
We've been waiting.
I'm waiting.
Okay, now, there's my second one. And you know, of course, it gets all distorted and everything. You have to kind of go back when you're finished and kind of get everything lined up again. So I've used these two. I like this one because he's kind of like a Abe Lincoln whaler. He's a little big for that spot. Let's see.
This would be fun cookie jars.
Okay, I'll go ahead and slip in here. Now, you know, I'm a production artist in many respects. If I have to make a lot of things, I'll do it. But something like this, I really like to make about maybe 10 and just stay away from them for a while. I'd say. Gotta get the little piece of clay for the nose.
Do you hand build the little bones and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now you'll notice on the one that's being passed around, I made those skulls and joined them on, and then I made myself a little press mold of a skull, and I really like the ones I made better because they stand out better. But, okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've done.
Now the skulls on that one, did you do the skulls on that one?
No, the skulls I did on this one, I made a little press mold of a skull, and I'll have to dig it out of my little box of tricks here. Okay, so let me get one more. The short ones seem to be working better than here because I don't have as much space.
I can't see it.
And then I had a special request from somebody to pinch out a whistle body. Now, the one thing you're going to notice about these things is I've used a particular glaze. Has anybody seen a woman's art recently that squirrels holding AK-47s and stuff? Have you seen them? They're pretty cool. They're like flasks. Well, they're kind of patterned after, you know, like an early American kind of squirrel. And they used a lot of green lead glazes. And man, they're beautiful glazes. But you know, you can't use that anymore. So I like these glazes because they're transparent and they have that that lead quality to them.
And what places are they?
I think it's a. I'll have to check and see. It's some of the ones that Link has. I don't know if they're Makos or not, but I'll tell you this. The ones that I choose are the ones that are called sheer because they're transparent. If I did that mug with an opaque glaze, it would be dead. But you put that transparent glaze on there, it cools in all the depressions and thins out on the ridges and enhances any kind of detail that you have, really. Okay, so I got room for one more.
How do you apply that?
I brush it on.
Okay.
Yeah. Although, you know, I've done a lot of dipping and pouring when I do chino glazes and stuff on T-balls.